SpongeBob SquarePants never set out to be a commentary on social dynamics. But somehow, in between the goofy goober rock anthems and the lessons on how to tie your shoes, it aired an episode so ridiculously ahead of its time, it basically predicted the entire concept of cancel culture, viral misinformation, and the very real debate over the line between a joke and genuine harm. Squirrel jokes ain't just some random episode. Nah, it shows us how one dumb joke, when everyone jumps on the bandwagon, can turn into a total weapon. And honestly, it straight up tells us that sometimes the only way someone finally gets how much pain they've caused is if they feel it themselves. Like almost literally exploding in SpongeBob's case. It's basically a university lecture on how society works, crammed into 11 minutes of chaos. And for real, I don't think any other cartoon has ever topped it. It's bonkers to think this gem first aired back in 2001. Most of us were still figuring out our dial-up internet, and Steven Hillenburg and his crew were out here basically predicting the future of online arguments. It's just insane. So, the episode kicks off at the Krusty Krab, but it's not just a regular patty flipping day. Nah, Mr. Krabs decides to turn his greasy burger joint into a comedy club for the night, calling it the Comedy Crab. The vibe is set instantly. The first comic up is this dude, Dougie Williams, and his whole act is just throwing pies at the audience. And they love it. They're ready with umbrellas and everything, just soaking it all in. SpongeBob, watching from backstage, gets pied in the face and just cracks up thinking, man, I hope I'm as good as that guy.
I hope I do as good as that guy.
This is such a small but brilliant detail if you ask me. A pie to the face? That's just silly, harmless fun. It doesn't make fun of who you are. It's what everyone expects. Then Mr. Krabs introduces SpongeBob. He struts out there, all confident, with his besties Sandy and Patrick cheering him on from the front row. You can totally feel how earnest he is. He genuinely wants to be a comedy legend. He wants to make people laugh. But his jokes, oh my god, his jokes are beyond bad, like cringe your toes bad.
I mean, you fill them up every night at closing, and I mean, where does it all go? Huh? You know what I mean?
He starts this whole routine of what we'd now call observational humor, but without any actual observation or, humor. He's up there talking about salt shakers. I mean, you fill them up every night at closing, and I mean, where does it all go, huh? You know what I mean? Crickets. Literally, they show a live-action cricket chirping. He moves on to tomatoes. What's the deal on those things? Are they vegetables or fruit? And what does that make ketchup? More silence.
And tomatoes, what's the deal on those things? I mean,
You can practically feel the secondhand embarrassment through the screen. We've all been there, right? Told a joke that just bombed. But SpongeBob is living this nightmare in front of a packed house. This is where things get real fast. A heckler in the crowd, this fish named Harold, shouts out, Hey, funny guy, I've got a joke for you. What smells rotten and puts people to sleep? SpongeBob, being the innocent dude he is, guesses, noxious gas? And the heckler drops the mic with, No, your act. The whole audience just loses it. They're laughing at SpongeBob, not with him.
Hey, funny guy, I got a joke for you. What smells rotten and puts people to sleep?
noxious gas?
No, your act!
The mob has turned. They start booing him. He's freaking out, sweating, desperately looking for anything to say, and this is the most crucial part of the setup. His failure. His desperation. He's not some evil dude trying to be mean. He's just a terrible comedian who's absolutely bombing and will do anything for a laugh. And in that moment of pure panic, as he scans the jeering crowd, he even sees his best friend, Patrick, booing him. The betrayal. He needs a lifeline. His eyes dart around the room and land on Sandy, specifically on her two big front teeth. And in a moment of sheer desperation, he says it. Did you ever notice how big squirrels' teeth are?
Did you ever notice how big squirrels' teeth are?
A few chuckles ripple through the audience. It's not a great joke, but it's a start. It's like a little pat on the back. SpongeBob, sensing he's finally onto something, doubles down. The crowd laughs a little harder. You can see the relief wash over him. He found it. He found the thing that works. But oh my god, it gets so much crazier from here. He doesn't stop at just her teeth. He's got the scent of blood in the water, or well, the scent of laughter in the restaurant. He pivots from a simple physical observation to something much meaner, much more targeted. And what's up with that squirrel fur? I guess fleas need a home too. Even Patrick is slapping the table, howling with laughter.
And what's up with that squirrel fur? I guess fleas need a home too, huh?
Squirrel fur!
SpongeBob is on a roll. And they smell. But hey, you'd stink too if you spent 3 months buried in dirt.
And they smell! But hey, you'd stink too if you spent 3 months buried in dirt.
He's got the entire room in the palm of his hand. And then he goes for the kill shot. He moves from hygiene to intelligence. Hey, why does it take more than one squirrel to change a light bulb? A fish yells, why? And SpongeBob delivers the final blow. Because they're so darn stupid. The house comes down. Everyone is losing their minds. He's a star, a comedy sensation.
Hey, why does it take more than one squirrel to change a light bulb?
Why?
Because they're so darn stupid.
But then the camera pans over to Sandy. And dude, she's forcing this tight, super uncomfortable laugh. You can just see the hurt in her eyes. Patrick, clueless as ever, turns to her and is like, "That's a good one, hey Sandy?" He just doesn't get it. To him and to everyone else, these are just jokes. Abstract ideas, but for Sandy? Nah, man. They're about her. She's the only squirrel in the entire place, probably the whole town. These jokes are isolating her, crushing her identity, reducing her to a bunch of nasty, demeaning stereotypes. And that's the first super important lesson this episode slaps us with. The huge gap between the joke teller and the person the joke is about. For SpongeBob, it saved his act. For Sandy, it was the start of a nightmare. After the show, Mr. Krabs is ecstatic. He tells SpongeBob he's the new headliner, but he gives him one crucial piece of advice. Stick with the squirrel jokes, boy. He's reinforcing the behavior. The system is now demanding the very thing that is causing the harm.
Stick with the squirrel jokes, boy. Now get busy!
Then comes the backstage confrontation, and this scene is basically every single online argument about comedy and whether something is offensive that has ever happened in the last 10 years. Sandy approaches SpongeBob and tells him straight up, "Those jokes are hurtful and you know it." She is calm, she is direct. She is expressing her feelings clearly. And what is SpongeBob's response? It is the line that has been uttered by every person who has ever been called out for a bad joke. He says, "Come on, Sandy, I was just joking." The classic defense.
Those jokes are hurtful, and you know it.
Come on, Sandy, I was just joking.
He immediately deflects from the impact of his words and centers his own intent. He didn't mean to hurt her, so therefore she shouldn't be hurt. He follows it up with, "I mean, everybody knows that you're the smartest one in Bikini Bottom." This part is so brilliant, it's like mind-blowing. He's basically saying, my private opinion of you, Sandy, should totally protect you from the public humiliation I'm dishing out. He genuinely thinks their friendship means his words on stage don't matter. He's not trying to be a jerk, but he's just so blind to his own privilege and the power his words now have. It's like, you can think your friend is awesome, but if you're out there telling jokes that make her look dumb, guess what? People are going to think she's dumb. He even says, we all got to laugh at ourselves once in a while. And then, like a total goober, laughs at his own reflection.
We all gotta laugh at ourselves once in a while. I do it all the time. Ah! Ah! Ah!
He's doing this fake self-deprecation thing to prove a point. And it's just... And Sandy, being the good friend she is, probably just wants the awkwardness to end. So she backs down. She apologizes for her own feelings. She buys into his whole, it's just a joke thing, and blames herself for being hurt. They hug it out, and you think, okay, problem solved. This is where the episode gets truly genius. It knows that once those jokes are out there, once they've been unleashed into the wild, The damage is already done. It's not just a private beef between two friends anymore. So the very next scene cuts to Sandy at the bargain mart. And this is where the fallout truly begins. The jokes have escaped the context of the comedy club and have started to infect society. Two fish walk by her in the aisle and whisper, "I think she should buy both." A clear reference to the squirrel stink joke. Sandy is confused, but it's just the beginning. Then Scooter, the chill surfer dude, points at her and shouts, "Hey, look guys, it's the stupid squirrel." And he and his buddies start making dumb faces and noises. This is straight up harassment. This is bullying. The label Spongebob created for a laugh has now become Sandy's public identity. It's like she's canceled, but not by her own choice, by the stupid jokes. And it gets even worse, if you can believe it. She sees a mom and her kid, tries to be friendly, and the mom yanks her child away, saying, "Don't stand too close to a squirrel, Billy. You'll catch it stupid."
Hello, little critter. What's your name?
Don't stand too close to a squirrel, Billy. You'll catch it stupid.
Okay, Mom.
This is the moment a stereotype officially turns into prejudice. Stupidity is now being treated like a disease Sandy carries. Sandy's response is perfect, though. Stupidity isn't a virus, but it sure is spreading like one. She gets it. She knows the real sickness isn't her being a squirrel, but the mindless prejudice that's gripped Bikini Bottom. The episode makes it crystal clear. This isn't about Sandy being too sensitive or not being able to take a joke. This is about her safety and her dignity getting totally wrecked by a story her best friend created and benefited from. Like, the real cancellation isn't Sandy trying to get Spongebob off the stage. It's what's happening to Sandy's social standing, her ability to just live her life without being made fun of. This hits hard, man. So Sandy goes to see Spongebob again before his next show. He's backstage, all giddy, writing more of these awful jokes. Sandy tries to explain, "SpongeBob, this is serious. Since you've been telling them jokes, people have been treating me different." And literally, as if on cue, Patrick Star walks in. And what does he do? He sees Sandy and his whole vibe changes. He starts talking to her slowly, all condescending, like she's a total imbecile.
Hello, Sandy. Me, Patrick. Do you understand?
My heart actually breaks here. This is his best friend, and even he has bought into the stereotype so much that he's treating her like she's dumb. This is the concrete proof, right? Sandy looks at SpongeBob, completely defeated, and she's like, "You see? That's what I'm talking about." But SpongeBob still doesn't get it. He just waves it off. He cannot, or maybe will not, see that his words on stage are literally fueling this garbage fire in the real world. Sandy makes one last desperate plea. She's not trying to cancel him, guys. She's not trying to end his comedy career. She's just asking for a tiny bit of human decency from her friend. SpongeBob, picturing crickets and hecklers from his first terrible jokes, gets all nervous, but he agrees. He promises his friend he'll stop. Now the crowd is chanting his name, right? The pressure is on. He walks out there and he actually tries. He tells a joke about a bankrupt goldfish. Now he's a bronze fish.
Did you hear about the goldfish who went bankrupt? Now he's a bronze fish.
What? What did he say?
Silence. Crickets. Sandy, being the ride-or-die friend she is, tries to help him out. "I haven't heard it." "Good one, SpongeBob." But nope, the crowd ain't having it. Patrick, the same Patrick who just treated Sandy like she was dumb, yells, "Tell the one about the squirrel and the light bulbs." Another fish screams, "Get on with the squirrel jokes." The mob, man. They want that cheap, easy laugh that comes from picking on someone. It's disgusting. And then SpongeBob has this internal monologue, literally debating between your friends and your career. He looks at Sandy, then at his mic. He drops the mic, and for a split second, you're like, yes, he's doing the right thing. He walks off stage, but then he bursts back out wearing giant, goofy buck teeth and talking in a stereotypical hillbilly accent. "Howdy, y'all. The crowd goes absolutely bonkers. He didn't just lean in, he dove headfirst into the toxic pool. The audience screams the punchline with him because they're so darn stupid.
Howdy, y'all! How come it takes more than one squirrel to screw in a light bulb? Because they're so darn stupid!
He chose the applause of strangers over the feelings of his best friend, and honestly, that's a gut punch. And if you thought it couldn't get worse, oh, it does. He puts a spotlight on Sandy. I want to give a special thanks to my friend Sandy. He's using her live on stage as a literal prop for his garbage act. Then he tries to gaslight her in front of everyone. Don't you see, Sandy? We're laughing with you, not at you. Do you understand now, Sandy? Huh, do you? This, for me, is one of the cruelest things SpongeBob has ever done. He's publicly humiliating her and then trying to tell her that it's an act of inclusion. He's twisting reality to make himself feel better, to absolve himself of guilt. He's literally telling the victim how she's supposed to feel about being victimized. Sandy's response is quiet, deadpan, and absolutely chilling. I understand exactly what's going on, SpongeBob. He completely misreads her tone, celebrating her understanding, before delivering one last brutal joke at her expense. It's a total betrayal, man. Like, beyond. After the show, he finds a note from Sandy. It says she was wrong, that the jokes are funny, and she wants him to come over to her tree dome to celebrate. SpongeBob is over the moon. He thinks he's won. He thinks he can have his cake and eat it too, with zero consequences. He learned absolutely nothing. And this, my friends, is where the episode delivers its unforgettable, epic climax. He rolls up to the tree dome the next day, flowers in hand, ready for his victory lap. But when the door opens, he's hit with the most horrifying sight. Sandy has become the stereotype. She's dressed in hillbilly clothes, flies buzzing around her head, and she greets him with a loud, "Well, who-dee?"
Well, howdy!
Sandy, are you feeling all right?
She's embodying the monstrous caricature he created on stage, and it's brilliant. SpongeBob is instantly uncomfortable. She's basically saying, if you won't listen to my words, you're going to have to deal with the consequences of your actions. She invites him in and has him sit on a log, which he immediately gets stuck to. Then she sees the flowers and gasps, "You even done got me a vase." Before taking his water helmet off his head and putting the flowers in it. In that very instant, SpongeBob starts to dehydrate. His entire life support system is now a decoration. The stakes just went from awkward social discomfort to literal physical danger. It's a power move, and I'm here for it. He's drying up, croaking, "Sandy, I need what?" And Sandy, she plays dumb perfectly. She mimics that stupid squirrel persona he invented. Oh, that's right. Use a sea critter. Now, what was that thing sea critters need? She taps her head, pretending to think. A wallet? A watch? Waffles? This is his own joke, his own prejudice being thrown right back in his face. He's experiencing the real-world consequences of being treated like he's stupid, and it's actively harming him. He's panicking, desperate, finally understanding the sheer terror of being at someone else's mercy. Someone who is acting exactly according to the script he wrote for them. Finally, he screams, "Sandy, water!" She obliges, but in the most deliciously malicious way possible. She shoves a hose in his mouth and turns it on, all while muttering to herself, "Yep, us squirrels sure is stupid. Dumb, 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 squirrels is dumb."
Well, why didn't you just say so? Here you go. Yup, a squirrel sure is stupid.
She's narrating her own supposed stupidity while SpongeBob bloats up like a water balloon. He screams for her to stop, that he gets it, but she just feigns confusion. "What's that? You want more?" And connects the hose to an even bigger pipe. She inflates him until he fills every single inch of the tree dome. A giant, spherical, helpless sponge on the verge of bursting. It is only then, when he is completely powerless and facing total destruction, that he finally screams the words she needs to hear. "Okay, Sandy, okay, I get it. No more squirrel jokes." It's an extreme lesson, absolutely. But this episode argues, and I agree 100%, that it was a necessary one. He was literally incapable of empathy. He couldn't understand her pain just by listening. He had to be forced to experience even a fraction of that helplessness himself. He had to be put in a situation where his well-being depended on someone who was treating him according to a harmful stereotype. Only when he was the butt of the joke, when the joke had real physical consequences for him, did the lesson finally sink in. And honestly, good for Sandy for teaching him that. The final scene brings it all home. We're back at the Comedy Crab. SpongeBob now takes the stage. The vibe is totally different. He's humbled. He starts with, "On my way over here, I ran into a squirrel."
Thank you very much. You know, on my way over here, I ran into a squirrel.
The audience probably gets ready for the old junk. But he just winks at Sandy, who smirks back and continues. "And I said, hey, why don't you go get a couple of your squirrel friends and we'll go change a light bulb?" It's a callback, but the sting is gone. It's an inside joke between friends now, a little nod to the painful lesson he learned. And then he does something revolutionary. He turns the humor around. He makes himself the target. I mean, we're so dumb we don't even have a vertebrae. Look at me. I got no bones. The crowd laughs. He moves on to crabs. Oh, brother. They're so cheap they can't even pay attention. The camera cuts to Mr. Krabs, who belly laughs and shouts, "It's true. I am cheap."
Oh, brother, they're so cheap, they can't even pay attention.
It's true! I am cheap!
This is the key, guys. The targets of the jokes are in on it. They can recognize the truth in the stereotype without feeling totally trashed by it. He moves on to fish, joking that they smell, and the fish in the audience laugh along. He's not punching down at a marginalized individual anymore. He's punching across, making fun of everyone, creating a shared experience of laughter instead of an isolating one. He and Sandy share a thumbs up. Their friendship is restored, and it's stronger now, built on genuine understanding and empathy. The episode ends with him preparing to joke about starfish. The cycle of good-natured, inclusive comedy can finally begin. It's like the perfect ending. In my personal, totally biased, and extremely strong opinion, Squirrel Jokes isn't just a great episode of SpongeBob. It's a vital piece of social commentary that feels even more relevant today than it did back in 2001. It perfectly illustrates that the "it's just a joke" defense is absolute garbage when real harm is caused. It shows how stereotypes, even when they start off as a joke, can fester and poison a whole community. And most importantly, it offers a solution. It doesn't say comedy should be boring or that no one can ever be made fun of. Instead, it pushes for a more thoughtful, more empathetic kind of humor. It teaches us to punch up, not down. To laugh with people, not at them. And to listen, like truly listen, when a friend tells you that your words have hurt them. It's a lesson in humility, accountability, and the difficult, often painful process of learning to see the world from someone else's perspective. Seriously, it's a masterpiece, plain and simple. If you enjoyed this video and want to see me break down SpongeBob's scariest episode and the fear of being watched, click the video on the screen.